Guys, there's only 1 week left. We're almost there. The season's almost over.
Oh, and the Hawks even got a road win this week. Oh, that's so much fun. Against a terrible Pacific Division team, the Chicago Blackhawks lose 2 of 3 on the road because they suck.
Now, to be fair, their first game is against the Pacific Division leader in the Edmonton Oilers. That's a tougher game. The Oilers cannot defend. That's been their biggest problem this season. Connor Murphy, I've heard, has actually been a pretty good addition for Edmonton because he's kind of helping out some of their defensive problems. Even if it's not solving them completely, it's helping them limit the damage to an extent. But you scored just 1 goal against Tristan Jarry, who is having a season to forget, to say the least. One of the worst seasons a goaltender has put up in a while. He stinks. And yet, even without Draisaitl, Chicago cannot beat Edmonton.
I mean, you wouldn't... I mean, a little surprisingly, this game's pretty tight. Even though the Oilers seemed like they're getting more chances, Spencer Knight's not letting up a goal. And then he has a problem with his skate lace. So they have to fix that as he heads to the bench. They can't get it solved fast enough. So in comes Arvid Soderblom to go play some minutes while Spencer Knight has to go get his equipment sorted out. And what do you know? Adam Henrique, who, as Jack Michaels said on the broadcast for the Oilers, had not scored a goal in over 50 games, gets one on Soderblom on a rebound opportunity on a breakaway, and Edmonton leads 1-0. Great. Savoy adds the lead on a dirty goal, and then he seemingly had a second goal in the second period, but it was called back via offside. So, well, good. The Hawks won a coach's challenge. They got 1 goal back. 2 on a bit of a dirty goal. Nick Lardis just kind of whacking at it. Slowly rolls by Tristan Jarry. Apparently that was the only way they could beat Tristan Jarry in this game. It's Tristan Jarry. It's Tristan Jarry. You got to be able to score more than 1 on him. And the one that you score is a dirty one? Can't tie it. Empty netter. Game over. Awesome. Here's the thing. This team stinks. This is not groundbreaking analysis. We all know this. They're one of the worst teams in the league, but yet somehow still like 15 points in the standings ahead of the Vancouver Canucks. That is wild. I did not expect Vancouver to be the team that would be in the doldrums with Chicago this year. But here we are. They're probably going to get Gavin McKenna after pretty much trading away their entire team that won the Pacific Division a couple years ago. Oh, by the way, wow, what a concept, winning a division. And so Chicago has to play Seattle in their next game, which, by the way, coming out of this one in Edmonton, swear to God, this power play is just anemic. They're just terrible. I don't know what this power play is doing, but they're like 1 for 30 in their last 10 games coming out of this game. It's just putrid. It's just terrible special teams on their way out the door. Offensively, because their penalty kill has been one of the best parts about this team all year. Their penalty kill has been at the top of the league pretty much all year long, which is kind of crazy. It's like the one thing that they do well. They have a couple of key guys that they can really trust to kill penalties. They can't score on the power play, though. So, cool, you can kill penalties all you want. Can you get some sort of semblance of offense? It's not even special teams. They can't even score 5-on-5. This offense stinks outside of Connor Bedard, and occasionally Tyler Bertuzzi shows up. Like, it is unfathomable how pathetic this offense is. They'll show you a glimpse of what this team can be in the future every now and then. But that's the problem. They're just flashes. It's not anything near consistent. There isn't anything about this unit that shows that it's a sustainable group that can produce success without major development, which I guess a plus for the Hawks is the fact that they have a lot of young guys that are going through said major development right now. If this was a team that was much older, not the youngest team in the league now after the trades they made at the trade deadline, then this would be a different story. But it's still really hard to watch right now. And so the Blackhawks travel south to Seattle, which is kind of funny to say, but Edmonton is just that far north up in Canada. But they're playing in Seattle against the Kraken. Kraken are holding on to whatever slim playoff hopes they have. At home against a terrible team, Philip Grubauer decides to show up quite a bit. He makes some really nice saves in this one. But the Hawks look like the better team throughout the course of this game, especially in the first period. Even though they don't score, they at least look like the better team, which is something we have not seen a lot this year, where in a scoreless tie through one period, the Hawks just don't look like the better team in most of those games. They look like they're surviving. But in this one, it looks like they're the aggressors, and they're rewarded early in the second. Pardon me, more like the middle of the second period. With under 11 to go, the Hawks go up 1-0 from Teuvo Teravainen on a really ridiculous scramble type of play. It's just whacked at, and it somehow finds the back of the net as Grubauer tries to keep it out. It's Teuvo's goal. Hey, on the power play, too. You know, I was just crapping on that power play. Hey, they decided to score in this moment. What a concept. Holy cow, Hawks go up 1-0. That tells you that this is going to be one of those games where they just don't play as bad as normally for no reason. Arvid Soderblom is doing his job for the most part, getting the start in this one for the Blackhawks. He didn't see it nearly as many shots as Philip Grubauer did, but he did what he needed to do, especially through the first two periods of this game. He found ways to make saves, and he made a couple nice ones there as well. Look, he is not a great goaltender. I'm just going to come out and say it. He's not a great goaltender. But he does make some nice plays every now and then that make you wonder if he could just have some more consistency. Maybe he could be a good backup for the Blackhawks. But as it stands right now, he just does not have the consistency. He lets in a lot of softies. But he'll sometimes just show up for like 40 minutes like he did in this one and just play pretty well. But before the end of the second period, it's the Frondell line that a lot of people have actually been pretty pleased with. And same here. I think that this line is weirdly entertaining. Tyler Bertuzzi and Ilya Mikheyev, two veterans, and probably the two best veteran skaters that this team has at this point. They're paired with Anton Frondell. And, well, this was a really nice passing play. Bertuzzi goes down low to Mikheyev, and then he passes it across to set up Frondell. He overskates the puck and misses it. That's sometimes just how it is with young hockey players. But Tyler Bertuzzi says, I got your six. And he follows it up and puts it by Grubauer. And sometimes that honestly is what fools the goaltender the most. When the play doesn't go exactly as scripted and you kind of have to make a play, sometimes you just can't make it the play. Tyler Bertuzzi's opportunistic as he has been quite a bit all season long as he lifts it over my left ear, not your right, the right you're looking at up here. I'm going to move on now. And so now the Hawks have to defend a lead. Love that. And it takes about 10 minutes, but the Kraken slowly but surely start to build momentum. They start to fight back, and they're able to get one by Soderblom. Come on, man. How's this one go in? What's with the defense here? Tolvanen finds Schwartz right in front of the net. Like, Wyatt Kaiser is draped all over him. How do you not stop that? Wyatt Kaiser. And Soderblom, it's like literally right in the crease at that point. So, of course, it goes right by Soderblom and in. 1-goal game. And now is the time for me to mention that the Hawks get another young prospect to come play for the Blackhawks late in this season. And it's not a call-up because Kevin Korchinski's back, but Sacha Boisvert is finally making his debut with the Chicago Blackhawks.
Boisvert just wrapped up his college hockey season with Boston U and now has time to come play the final half dozen games for the Chicago Blackhawks. And he gets his first NHL goal in this one as well. And it's a crucial one, too. Slaggert gets some help with from Burakovsky, who's the one who's on the line with Boisvert and Slaggert, funnily enough. Weird how he's just been going down the totem pole as the season's gone on. Really liked Burakovsky at the start of the year. Not so much anymore. Anyways, Slaggert grabs it from Burakovsky, and it's a nice little passing play. Boisvert's there, Slaggert's there. It's Korchinski who kicks it off his skate, gets it right back to Boisvert, who's in the slot. He beats Grubauer. That's a huge goal for the Blackhawks, too. That's not just a we're down 6-1 late game scenario. Guys are playing, half effort, whatever, right? No, this is a very important goal for the Blackhawks. They have not been able to score in these types of situations that much this year. When they're holding on to a lead in the third period, they haven't been getting a ton of insurance goals, especially in the latter part of this season. They get a huge one here from Boisvert. That one's a killer for Seattle. They would get one back, but it would not be enough as Ilya Mikheyev pots an empty netter to put the Hawks up 4-2, which would be the final score and a win in Seattle.
Look, it's just weird to see the Hawks play like this, where they're like kind of the better team, and when they're winning, it's because they're better. It's not because they were more opportunistic and took advantage of the few grade A chances that they got. It's they were the better team. Connor Bedard was held in check, but Seattle couldn't stop the rest of the team, which is really funny because that has not been the case a lot this year. It's been Bedard, Bertuzzi, and usually someone else, some third guy that steps up if the Hawks need to win. Tyler Bertuzzi didn't get a goal in this one, but that was supposed to be Freundell's goal, but Bertuzzi stepped up to come through for his fellow rookie, but that's besides the point. They got goals from Teuvo Teravainen, Tyler Bertuzzi, two veteran guys who have been with the team for, I think, both of them are in their second year with Chicago now. And then they got a goal from a guy who scored his first, Sacha Boisvert. Super fun. Oh, and Mikheyev got the empty there. Can't forget about him. Can't forget about Mikheyev. Good for you.
And so the Blackhawks have to go down to San Jose, which is mostly Celebrini and Will Smith, but the Sharks have better depth than the Hawks.
Apparently the Hawks power play has decided to wake up because, wow, they're 2 goals in this one. They both scored on the power play. Ryan Donato able to bang one in at the tail end of a power play in the first period after Frank Nazar's shot gets deflected off of Nedeljkovic's stick or glove. It finds the stick of Ryan Donato. He puts it in the back of the net. And then in the third period with the Hawks down 3-1 because, they let up 3 goals in the process before getting another one. Frank Nazar snipes one short side by Nedeljkovic on a nice little backhand pass from Teravainen on a passing play. But apparently this power play now is like, oh, we want to score. Great. That's great. I've seen a lot of people say that the Sharks are pretty much just Macklin, Celebrini, Will Smith, and friends. It's kind of the case, but also it's kind of not the case. Because they have plenty of other guys who are more than capable of making plays. They're really on the come up. If they don't get into the playoffs this year, they probably will next year and kind of surprise some people, especially if the Pacific is this week again. But these goals were just super nice. It was a breakaway goal for William Eklund that beat Spencer Knight after a Michael Misa kick goal got taken back because he kicked it in the net off a scramble in front. And then it's Kiefer Sherwood, who with a nice blast puts the Sharks up. And then this third goal, Celebrini to Graf to Smith. Beautiful passing play. Like, they didn't score a ton of... Not a ton. They didn't score any dirty goals. And the one dirty goal they did score was actually called back. Those goals were very clean. Very, very nice. And if it was not my team, I would be watching that and be like, hey, those are pretty nice. But, I don't know. They got the Nazar goal in the power play, but they couldn't get much after that.
But you know what? That was the last road game of the season for the Chicago Blackhawks. They've been playing on the road so much since the Olympic break because they had so many home games earlier this season. They will end the season on a 4-game homestand. And they're going to be playing teams with a lot to play for. The Hurricanes are up first. They're currently the top team in the Eastern Conference. They've won their division, but they want to make sure they hold on to the top spot in the conference and get the second wildcard team in the East. They get St. Louis next. St. Louis has been playing really good hockey since the Olympic break. And they've gone from one of the worst teams in the league to all of a sudden out just outside of a playoff spot. Of course, because that's just how weak the Western Conference is. And then it's followed up by the Buffalo Sabres, who are also in a dogfight. They're in a 3-way tie atop the Atlantic Division with the Lightning and the Canadiens right now. That division is going to be a bloodbath for the final week plus of the regular season. And then they wrap up the season against those San Jose Sharks, who are also in that ridiculous second wild card dogfight in the Western Conference that no one wants. All for the privilege to get completely destroyed by the Colorado Avalanche. Too bad that's not the Blackhawks this year, though I would absolutely happily watch them get destroyed in 4 games right now if they were going to get to the playoffs. Because to get to the playoffs, you'd have to be a decent to good regular season team at the very least. Which is something that the Chicago Blackhawks are not at all. 4 more games to go. All we can say is, hey, let's get some of these guys. So, 4 more home games to go, and that's it. And, well, we'll get to see some of these young guys like Boisvert, Frundell, Rinzel, Korchinski. We'll get to see some of these guys go out and play some hockey in front of home fans before the end of the season, see if they can have a nice moment before this season comes to a merciful close. So yeah, that's about it. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the subscribe button if you really liked it and wanted to see more videos from me. Keep the conversation going in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. See ya.